Hi everyone. Okay, today's March 2nd. I thought I'd let you just be in on my process of shuffling because I have some things to say before I get into the reading, so I thought, oh, why not just let you guys be here with me in that. I'm grounded, I meditated, I have set the intention to only get the truth. I don't ever want, anything but the truth coming through in any of my readings. But of course, I'm human, which means I'm imperfect, so I may not always draw the right cards or interpret them correctly. So that's why I always love your comments and questions, the tarot readers out there that want to jump in and say, hey, I see this. Maybe you missed that, and I do. I miss words all the time. But in the context of this situation, I'm tuning into the CPAC GOPers. So not the entire Republican Party, but just the ones who, got involved with no peaceful transfer of power, the ones that launched a coup, the ones who attended the CPAC conference on a stage shaped like a Nazi insignia, and who are not aligned to the Constitution or the democratic process. So I want the truth about them. And I'm going to do, if anybody wants to copy this spread, it's a good one to use for any type of a business or career question. Okay, so of course they've been in voter suppression. They've been gerrymandering. I mean, this is what the Republican Party. This actually is the entire Republican Party that I'm speaking to now, where for years and years, I mean, we're talking decades and, maybe even 100, maybe a century for all I know, involved in voter suppression and gerrymandering and, just trying to keep it with the white boys, old man, white old men, their money club, they're wanting to just keep everything for themselves, and they're aligned with, I think they're probably in past lives, old slave traders. That's what I think. Slave masters and slave traders, that's what I think. So here they are again in a new incarnation, and we ain't be having none of that. Homie, don't play that game no more. And they're losing, and I have a feeling this is like their last gasp. But let's see, because I could be wrong, and I want to know the truth. Let's see where they're headed. So the first card here, first two cards are going to be the soul of the party, like the forces in motion, like what's really going on with this CPAC branch of these GOPers. And maybe even, maybe even the, people that would vote for them. Like, where is this all, where's it headed? Like, where's it going? What's going on? Yeah, no success there. We have the sun reversed. Yeah, check this out, man. Usually this is happiness and growth and optimism and success. Well, no is the answer to that. Okay, and their challenges, well, I'm sure they have many, but let me just have one card to see their biggest challenges. Yeah, their dependency on, oh my goodness, their actual dependency on, this could, oh wow. Well, it's definitely jealousy. It's definitely deceit and dependency, and probably their recklessness. But I also feel like this could be their dependency on foreign. And this isn't something I would normally get with this card, because, the Pentacles are usually about like what's homeland type of thing. But I have to go with what I just felt intuitively, sensed, it blips in. Which is foreign. I feel it has to do with foreign dependency is their biggest hurdle to get over, and because that will most likely be revealed. Wow. Okay, so next I'm going to do 4 cards here for what are their plans? What are their what are they actually planning? What, you know, like what's really going on there? And I'm also going to allow for it to show us, because it's in the past kind of position for me. I always think about the left side as being the past. But I also want to know, like, what, if anything, they've done in the past that maybe we don't already know about. So, okay. Let's get these up here. Yeah, well, okay, so this looks like to me in the past and what's, you know, what's going on now, action-wise, is there's been a lot of manipulating the public's emotions. This has to do, when the King of Cups is reversed, it's awful. I mean, when it's straight up, it's my Biden card. So maybe part of this has been to do everything that they can to get Biden in an upside down position. But these are, when it's reversed, the quality of this card has to do with being very intolerant and abusive and manipulative. So they've abused their position of, well, yeah, I have to say power, even though I don't think they're that powerful. But then again, you know, they got a lot of people to vote for them. They've also been involved again, you know, with all the voter suppression and gerrymandering, and when it comes to manipulating. And then we have the Page of Cups here, reversed as well. I mean, we're in that whole, with all these cards, they've been celebrating the fact that their actions with the Knight of Wands has gotten them to the place where they do have any control at all, which tells me that these are the people who've been deeply involved with all of the, how do I say, I have to couch this in a different frame so that I don't trigger any, what's the word? I don't want to say, it's not as strong as censorship, but, well, let me just try to find the right words. This to me, these 4 cards here spell out what they've done in the past, and what their plans still are to cheat and abuse, partly by manipulating emotions, getting people, you know, just outright lying, right? Because when the Page of Cups is upside down, you know, this card's all about creating insecurity and fear, being very, you know, sensitive to disappointment, and but what's going on too, though, is that the numbers are going down, I believe, and their relationships are upside down. But there's also this whole subterfuge under here of, you know, how did Mitch McConnell actually win? And I think there is an investigation going on. I was with Scott Allen on his channel, his live stream last Saturday, and one of the questions had to do with investigations into Mitch McConnell's, you know, win, and it came through. You know, we both got clearly that he didn't actually win. he didn't, and so there were all types of well, there were a few reasons that we figured out what they were. So you can watch that video if you want. Let me show you the little card that I remember that came through. Bear with me. I'm sorry. Well, here, let me just, I can find it. It's, oh, of course, everything's upside down. It's the number 52 card. There we go. Okay. This little card came through for me. And the guidance I got had to do with, notice it's a square box and resources can come out. I mean, it's the safe card, and so on one level the meaning could be that there was money paid off to certain certain counties that were certain counties in Kentucky, and to manipulate the results. I'm trying to leave out certain words so that I don't trigger something here. But if you just look at this, like, doesn't this also look like a voting machine? And this could be like the back door afterwards, after all the votes were, obtained. And then they could change it, because I remember the other card, I think in there, well, this would be the card that would have to do with votes. But I do believe the other card in there, I can't remember completely. I think the snake was in there. And it was the, well, it's not coming through quickly, but it's the stork. So number 17, where are you? Which indicate, here we go. So it was, I think it was like these cards together, so it would indicate, something being changed. So that's what I'm getting here, without using the Lenormand. So these guys are all involved in that, and their actions are is to keep moving forward, doing that more and more and more. Because they don't care. I mean, they're just, they're a little, it's a card of big changes and quick changes, and it's based to just get more money and more abundance for themselves. So whether or not I'm right about the voting machines that happened in Kentucky, or any other state, any other of the swing states, or any other of the states that keep these people in power who I think are prior, lifetime slave masters, and they want to keep that all going. The deal is there's a manipulation. There's a manipulation and abuse to make something go the way they want it very quickly. And then they sit back and celebrate. So this convention was a big celebration for them. And so there we go. I'm going to leave that there. That's the past. Okay, so 2 cards up here for what they're attracting. Will they be successful or not? And what is their karma? I might even draw some extra cards if I need on that. But let's see, let me tune in. So future, it's kind of like right now actually. What are they attracting? What's coming down on them? That's like a dictator. And then the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so we have the King of Wands and the Queen. I wonder if I do have, yeah, you know what? Let me do 2 more cards. I think I can fit it in. Okay. And 1 more right here. Okay. So with the King of Wands, what they're attracting and whether or not they'll be successful, well, they need a powerful leader. And this is why I think in this situation, this is Mr. Flump. This is Don the Con. This is Diaper Don. This is, Grifter Don and the whole family. So, of course, they've attracted him. He's the one that they're aligned with. Otherwise, he wouldn't be there. They just, That's the saddest and most ironic, I think, part of the whole Republican Party is that they didn't have anybody better. I mean, well, they tried. I mean, there was Ted Cruz, there was Marco Rubio, you know, and in the past they've had what's his name, Mitt Romney. You know, maybe he'll come back, because at least he's not in alignment with them at all anymore. I don't know that he ever was. But so anyway, I think this is flump. And so as far as success goes, well, they have this leader, but you know, we have to remember the forces that are in motion, successful or not. This is definitely not. And then the challenge has to do with money and dependency on money, and I think foreign money is, you know, the major issue here. And then here we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed, which has to do again with more dependency. Being neglectful over resources that have been received. You know, and just being very selfish, not caring about anybody but themselves, which is, you know, that's what they do. They don't even care about the Republican Party. They just care. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about the party. They just care about holding on to their own selfish position. They're in it for their own selfish interests. So that's quite a conflict, right? Yeah. Okay, so continuing on with whether or not they'll be successful. Well, excuse me, with the Four of Cups reversed, well, this could have to do with them at least being focused on what they want finally and not being apathetic. But does it bring in real success? I mean, because we have the Wheel of Fortune here. Normally when it's straight up, it does bring in something, you know, it's a turning point. But I can't say that it would be like good fortune because of these cards here and who they've hitched their wagon to, which is a demented demagogue, a person with Alzheimer's. What happens when he finally blows a head gasket or has a heart attack? You know, what happens when his stroke kicks in? Like where do they go then? Well, we've got a karmic twist of fate. That's what we've got going on. We've got a turning point here, which for them might even be a happy event because they don't really care about anybody. You know, they just don't have anybody better. They buy. They don't come from their integrity because they haven't found their integrity. And so when you do, you know, when that happens, when those are the forces going on in your life, you know, you give your power away to other people. And that's what they've done. Okay, so let's look at their future. The future of this branch of the GOP, this CPAC deluded Donald Trump following okay. Well, so in the future, so it would be just these four cards here. Sorry, well, here, let's do this. There's no reason to make it confusing. In fact, I might even just add some Lenormand to it. So with the future, yeah, let me do that. Give me a moment while I shuffle it. Let's do it this way. Actually, let me drop the camera down. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Okay, so just looking at the tarot, we've got the Four of Wands, the Five of Wands reversed, High Priestess reversed, and the Magician straight up. So I get the feeling that, yeah, they come together and they do have their events. I mean, this would be the CPAC event. They might have more of them. And there's going to be some compromise, though, because this is all about the future. There's some secrets that come out. There's some betrayal that comes out. And I think it's about Trump, because I think this is him. But then again, this could be them having to reinvent themselves, because the magician is all about leadership and their ambitions in the future and what they manifest in the future. So because some secrets are going to come out, I think, I'll find out using the Lenormand, more specifics, but I think they're going to have to manufacture a new leader. Okay. Well, just logically, without even using any divination system, we just have to remember Trump has lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit coming down on him. We have to remember that there's a 9/11 style commission that's probably going to get passed, and they will dive into him. But I think for years and years and years, he's going to be tied up in court to the point that, how much can he handle, right? How much stress can the dude handle? And we know he already has heart conditions. We already know that he has, well, he'll never admit it, but he has a family history of Alzheimer's. And from all my readings, you guys, I don't know how long you've been following me, but I used to do daily readings on him, and it almost, at least on a weekly basis, it would come through that he had Alzheimer's. His brain wasn't working right. I would get the clouds card in this deck. I would get the clouds and the lilies. It shows, confusion in old age. So let's use this little deck now and see what. Let's see. What is actually the future? Okay. 1, 2, 3. CPAC, GOP. Is that 4? 1, 2, 3. No, that's 5. Okay. And this one right here. Okay. Ooh. So they're with the eye here. They're going to be watched. There's people, looking down, trying to. There's surveillance. There's surveillance as to. They're getting the attention, but there's surveillance over these people who, have been a threat to our homeland because we have the house. So they're watching this foundation they've built. And they're watching these clubs. This would be like the Proud Boys and the, see, now I can safely say their names without getting my channel dinged. Proud Boys and Oath Keepers, that's what these guys are. They're watching the people who, oh my goodness. Okay, so here's how it's going to go down in the future. The public, this is the whole, I believe this is the, this is us in the public domain getting news and observing the fact that more information is going to continue to come out about those who stormed the Capitol. This is the Capitol, this is the White House. And this would be the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys and, like the idiot, the idiot Danny Terry or whatever the guy's name, and the guy that, I might have his name totally wrong. I've just thrown somebody else's name in there. Enrique. It was Enrique Terrio. And I could have his last name, kind of slightly off because I don't really know much about the guy except for that he's not white. And, the Proud Boys and these, these Oath Keepers, they're all one of the rule number 1 is you can't be female, so no women are allowed, and you have to be white. Well, Another thing that has come through watching Scott Allen's channel when he has, especially when he has like Debbie with Freebird Spirit and Andrea from Lilac Lantern, they've dove into this question about, you know, this guy, and it turns out the guy's like a double agent for the, you know, he's playing both sides because he's been arrested years ago. So things are going to come out because they've been watching this guy and the information has come through. And here's the clues right here. It's like the foundation of these organized clubs that want America to be like a certain way, and how they've been literally, like all these branches have been sucking up the energy. And it's been very risky. They've been very opportunistic as well, but they're guilty, and this is a huge burden. This is not a happy ending. This is a very, very challenging card. The only good thing about this card is if you get it personally, the message may be to have faith. But on another level, this is like religious. You know, they're watching. They could be the future of these, this like, you know, GOP, CPAC type of group, is that they're being watched, and the burden is on them. And is being watched through the public domain, you know, all the social media. This is the card of social media in the Lenormand. And they're looking at all these branches, all the branches of all these clubs. And the risk that they took when they stormed the Capitol, like all that's out there. So that's going to be the burden of proof. That's what's going to do this. That's what's going to do, I believe. Let's see. Let's just draw some more cards. I don't want to leave this kind of hanging in an incomplete way. I want to see how the actual complete future of this this organism, this CPAC GOP organization. Okay, so 7 more cards. Okay. So we've got the clouds, the child, the fox, the sun. That's right, right there, right where it should be. The pig, lilies, and the ring. Okay, so now I'm going to take these cards as control over these cards, because that's the way I read. And then still go with, like, here's our central theme, and this could be the answer card, but we'll see. So yes, the public domain and the social media records will reveal all the nefarious players within those clubs, and how things were hidden, how they tried to hide all these like new plans to storm the Capitol. And it's also going to reveal the players. So these would be, you know, like that, I don't remember the guy's name, but there's an Oregon senator that opened a back door and let people in and then went out, and then he came back in another door later. There are people that are, you know, the ones that gave the tours previously, and so they knew exactly how to get to Nancy Pelosi's office. So all this information is going to come, it's coming out more and more and more and more, and as it does, it's going to, I believe it's going to ratchet in and encircle. I'm going with the image on this card rather than the meaning, but it's going to, well, it could be both, encircle all the committed members who, in all these branches, because this card Knights over here, and who were actually paid as well. There was money involved. Old money from, you know, like, I don't know if it would be the Mercers anymore. Wasn't there some Publix or something like that? There are guilty people with old money. Guilty people with old money who committed. You know, this is partly like, well, Alex Jones paid $500,000 to help with the Capitol riot, so he's in here. Jenny Thomas, Clarence Thomas's wife. I did a video on Clarence Thomas and his crazy wife Jenny. That's still in there if you want to look at it on their karma. So yeah, so this old money, old white, this is the old white people card under the context of this question, because when you read any system, you've got to always bring it into the context of the question. So who are these people and what is the future? Well, it will be revealed for sure, and it'll come out in public domain. The records will come out revealing all the nefarious players. This is a card of assassins. This is combined with a child card. This would be these immature people who literally thought they could go in and assassinate, and people did die. They were going to go in and try and hang Mike Pence, and they wanted to kill Nancy Pelosi. The words are there on public record. Public record. Public. Yeah. So these immature players who thought they could start a new movement with old money, it's all going to come out. So I believe it's going to take some time. I believe it's going to, because we've got the tree card up here, which takes a lot of time, especially to show all the money players. But they'll get like the evidence of wire transfers and where the money went. That's the thing, is you just always follow the money trail and you get the answers. But yeah, it's going to take some time. But it will clear up. The clouds will pass and it will clear up, but it will show, because the dark side of the cloud here is on all these new, immature, players who stormed the Capitol. So that's what's going to bring them down. And that's why they're going to need a new leader, because Donald Trump is guilty. This whole spread could be showing us that he will go down, which would reinforce one of my readings on him about will he be indicted for this is treason. This is treason to try and overtake the White House. That's treason. Treason. This little guy's treasonous. So they're watching the treasonous people. And they were in the branches of our government and right to Trump. Donald John Trump. And Don Jr. was in on it. And Eric. They're all guilty. They're all guilty. This is this ring of guilty people. This crime ring. So besides losing his assets and besides being brought in on RICO charges someday, he also has the insurrection, the January 6th riot coming down on him. So that's why they're going to need a new leader, because all the secrets are going to come out. But yeah, they'll stick together and they'll compromise themselves. They'll keep bending over because they have no spine, no backbone, but these secrets are coming out and they're going to have to reinvent themselves. That's what I'm getting. Okay, well, this ends this reading. Again, thanks you guys for listening, and I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a good week, and take good care. Happy spring. Spring is coming. Yay! Bye.